Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy check. Today this is going to be a classic twin flame check-in. We'll look at the feminine and masculine energy, get one more question on what do we need to know right now, any kind of emphasis on the journey, and then we'll also we'll see. Usually the third question I ask is how the twins see the connection. Today I'm going to do messages between the twins. What would they want to tell each other at this time? We will start with an oracle message. Today is the wisdom of the oracle deck, and let's see what happens. Tomorrow I will do a special reading around Tintin Portal, so make sure that you show up for that. Make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are on so you don't miss that reading. That's going to be a very interesting one. All right, so without further ado, let's get right to it. For feminines, we've got Never Ending Story, number 37, which comes to 10. Surprise, surprise. I started talking about the energy of 10 in yesterday's reading. I'll definitely talk more about it tomorrow, but in a nutshell, we are getting to the point where certain kinds of karmic stories are getting their closure. And especially if we had hope there, like we still had hope for this relationship or this job or this hobby that we pursued, right? But it's just not working out really. It's back and forth, so hot and cold, so it's exhausting. This is the time to make like a final decision in it, right? For some cases, for some people, it will be about saying goodbye to it, just acknowledging that, it's too unstable, right? It's too back and forth. Because the truth is that for our nervous system, this is the least functional dynamic, to put it mildly. This is the most, I'm losing my words today. This is the dynamic that hurts our brain the most. Let's put it that way, because our brain historically is trying to divide. I don't want this to be a long reading, but very shortly, is always dividing a relationship into one of the two, or putting it into one of the two tribes. People who we can trust, we can come close to, we can open up to, and people we don't really trust. And that could be for a variety of reasons. Doesn't necessarily mean the person did something bad to us. Maybe we just don't have enough information. Maybe it's a stranger at a cashier desk in a supermarket. So why would we open up to them all of a sudden, right? There's so many people we go through day in, day out, but our brain does the work of separating, okay, this is a closer person, this is not so close, and I better keep my distance. And you can already deduce the rest of that story of what it means in terms of behavior. And so when we get from someone, or even a situation, the illogical behavior, meaning that the person relationship is an easier example. The person acts as if we should and can trust them, like in a loving way, in a close, intimate way. And then another time they act like we shouldn't because they let us down, or they just ghost us, or when we really needed their help, they say no, or they abuse us, that's one of the schemes that the toxic people, like diagnosable personality disorders, how they work. It's not that the person always treats you badly. I mean, towards the end, it's almost always like that, but it's not how they get you. The way that the codependency and the trauma bond is built, and notice the words trauma bond for a second, that's what is built as a result of such dynamic, is that the person contrasts good and bad behavior, good and bad. And yes, a lot of those people don't even realize it. A lot of those do. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it really exhausts your brain. And there's a lot of stuff on the biochemical level that essentially is driving you crazy. I don't have time in this reading to get into it, but whenever you have that kind of dynamic with anything or anyone, it's blanking point unhealthy for you. It's kind of dangerous, actually. So this is the time to put that to bed, to get to that 10 is good. It's getting to the 10th out of 10, where it's like, okay, enough. Can't go on like that. And yeah, sometimes it means I'm actually saying goodbye to this and walking away. Sometimes it means, you know, we need to do something differently here, like clarify stuff. We need to build boundaries, make rules, like this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. And they can't have you, you know, act like a decent person one day and then act as a jerk the week later. You know, it's just not gonna work out. And know that a lot of people act like that because somebody has treated them that way. So their subconscious is already wired to act that way, but it's still no excuses. At the end of the day, it's damaging to your health, to your mental health, and it's unacceptable. Masculines, you have 21, clean it up. Masculines got a number of the new beginning. But I think we had that actually in yesterday's reading. Maybe it was in the horoscopes because I'm recording a lot these days. But basically, in order to have a fresh start with something, whatever it is, wherever you're looking to set up new goals, or you have set them up during the new moon that we had last week, right? But you can't really move forward too far unless you clean up the mess that was already created or the burdens that you're carrying with you, because you just won't have enough energy capacity to deal with that stuff and with the new stuff, you know? So the system works or your energy field works in a most efficient way, basically spending the energy of dealing with what's already in the field, right? And then you may even feel like you don't really have energy for anything new, and that's why. Okay, let's get into the main read. Today I'm going to use the Tarot Grand Lux deck. I'm still so happy that I can use all of my decks, any of them. I have choices. I don't have just two, so I have to use them every day. All right, bottom of the deck, Seven of Cups. This is my fairy tale card in this deck. Doesn't look like the usual Seven of Cups, all right? But to me, this card means it's kind of like sky's the limit, anything's possible. So don't limit your options. Don't think that you only can do A or B. You know, you also have C, D, E, and the rest of the alphabet, if you have the eyes to see it. We'll use the After Tarot for clarifications. Six of Cups. Yeah, there is something that, some kind of memory from childhood that has limited you in where you go and how you see yourself, meaning that you limit yourself in the options because maybe somebody told you that you can't, you know, you have to settle with one thing, you can't do three at a time, right? Or maybe somebody said to you that somehow you're not good enough in the area that you would like to pursue, and you're like, well, I would love to do this, but, and there is this voice in your head that's telling you that it's high risk because I'm not really very good at it, so I'll stick with what I know. You know, and the universe is asking both twins to look into the possibilities, you know, with an open mind, let's put it that way. So, feminines, your energy is Eight of Wands clarified by Two of Wands. In this case, Two of Wands is really making the choice towards each other. And Eight of Wands, I love how it kind of goes out into us, right? It's like right at you, someone delivering the message right at you. Apologize for the dogs in the background if you can hear them. Hopefully it's gonna stop. So the messages, you are seeing the message that this is the path, love is the answer, all of these great things. And when you are making decisions, this is the conversation to have. Is it bringing me closer to my dream life, to my you know, vision that I have with my life partner, whether you've already met them or not, whether it's your DM or you're going with someone else, doesn't matter. This is about soul connection, right? This is about long-term commitment, right? Like, are my choices getting me closer to that vision that I have, or I'm postponing my dream life until later, right? Like, that's the key question that the feminines either are already asking or should be asking. For the masculines, the energy is Nine of Wands clarified by the Lovers. So for masculines, it's really been a long and winding journey towards finding themselves and what they want in love, in life and in love. That was a Freudian slip. I wanted to say life, what they want in life, but also in love, yes, because that's the ultimate big part of it. No matter how they get to that, and they may be in denial at first, but this is a major arcana, so it's like dawning on them that having a love of their life with them is a key part of that image, of that vision that they have for their life, right? But right now it's like there is this energy of being tired, of like, this seems too difficult, I don't know if I can do it, there's certain doubt there. And partly what I'm seeing here is it's because some cleanup needs to be done. You know, some karmic ties need to be broken of the origin that I explained already, that's not healthy. Maybe physical cleanup of some sort of your space. I don't know, even the files on your computer, it could be whatever, but you know, how depends on how badly it is. Maybe it's your inbox that's out of order. But all of those things, and any of them, they create drainage for your energy. So pay attention to that, as if, you know, like, of course, each one of those are not gonna solve everything in life for you. But when you're solving each of those problems, each of those voids or gaps or sources of energy leakage, you are obviously becoming stronger. You can be more in your energy, and you have more capacity to do something new. Additional question for today: the Devil and the Hermit. Very interesting, two major arcanas, very different energies. But what I'm getting is that sometimes like, you can get carried away with anything and everything. And right now the twins could get carried away with or start overthinking the whole light worker journey, spiritual path, and essentially feel like there's something wrong with what they're doing. Let's get more clarity. Let's see what does it mean for the feminines. Four of Wands clarified by strengths, right? Like, I'm not showing enough perseverance in going for what I want, right? Our brain may be playing that trick with us. Like, I'm not doing enough of activity that will bring me directly to my DM, or that is impacting my DM, or whatever it is, right? So just know that, I mean, those who have been on the journey for a long time, you don't really need persuasion, and understanding that if anything, if in doubt, focus on self and where you are. On the other hand, of course, it's important to be open if that's something that you're looking to attract, and we already saw that in the beginning of the reading, the life partner, I mean, whether it's your DM, somebody else, you need to be open to that. You need to have space for it, for that relationship in your life, you know. It's almost like it's one of those things where you live as if, you know, that you are in that energy space. And obviously you can start saying, but my life would be so much different when I'm with that person, right? But I mean, there will be parts of it that will be different because you'll be doing stuff together, which you can still do with other people in your life, right? Nobody's saying no to that, at least most of them. Let's not go too much into intimate details, but you know what I mean. And then there will still be big part of your life that will be you as an individual, and your person as an individual in their life, right? And that you can already, and yeah, you will blend certain things between the two, so it's coherent, so it's in harmony, so that you can make it work, because most likely you'll be living together, right? It will be one space for you, one energy field. But it's still important to embrace what works best for you in terms of, I don't know, your sleep schedule, your nutrition, your fitness routine, your hobbies, I don't know, whatever stuff you like doing or you would like to do, right? There's no better time than now. That's what I'm getting here. Do not put it off until whatever time you're with your DM or some other milestone comes through. For masculines, we have Nine of Swords clarified by Nine of Cups. Very interesting. That's also like a wishful thinking, like I really want this something to come along, to come through for me. And until then, I'm gonna be miserable. Until then, my life is not really worth talking about. Until then, I'm nobody up to that moment, like to get you an idea, right? So again, this is similar to what I was already saying. You don't need to wait for a specific goal to complete in the future in order to start living happy, or to be where you want to be energetically. You need to work with the present, more grounding, more going back into where you are right now and how to create that happy place with the resources, the energy, the time that you have now. What's the message from the feminine to the masculine today? 5 of Cups, clarified by the World. Yeah, so feminine's are saying they really miss the DM. They really miss their presence. They miss the feeling that they're given them when, you embrace each other, or even when you look at each other, right? Even the glance is electric. And they really miss that feeling. But they also know that there is the renaissance period for the divine feminine energy right now. And that the feminine is actually able to use the momentum to close out lots of unhealthy scenarios, and to be able to use this time in separation to complete certain cycles, so that again we can start fresh. The World card is the end of the cycle. It's the last card in the major arcana sequence, right? And we need to close out old cycle before we can start fresh, before we go back to the Fool and continue, right? So this is what the feminine is busy with right now. And another message here, that feminines wish that DM was by their side and they could do this together, but they understand that they need to do this part alone. What's the message from masculine to feminine? 6 of Swords, clarified by Queen of Swords. So masculines know that their feminine can do life by themselves, that they don't need masculine to complete them. And that's an endearing quality, and that's very inspirational to them, but it's also very scary because they don't really know yet where their place is, or how they can match that determination and will and authenticity, right? Like, where do they fit into the picture? Even in this card, you see the feminine is up front and the masculine is kind of like rowing at the end. So they know that there is value to them, some value, but they're trying to reconcile the idea of some value and the idea of being a life partner, because they know that there's still some puzzle pieces that they're missing, and they're praying for finding out what those are. So they could be not necessarily the leader in terms of the boss, but they could take care of the feminine, of the future family, of everyone, and feel empowered, not feeling like an addition as like someone, like a trophy husband kind of idea. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and until next time.